Hey y'all, welcome to Wanda's World. Today we're going to be making roasted chicken. That's right, we're going to roast a whole chicken, and I promise you it's going to be delicious and flavorful all the way deep into the bone. Now, I have a 6 pound chicken here that I got from Aldi because you already know I'm an Aldi diehard. And I'm going to wash my chicken with vinegar and lemon. Some people don't wash their birds, which is fine because you're going to bake this for high heat and for a long time, so anything that can survive the fire can survive your washing. But the reason why I wash my bird is because I don't like that chickeny smell. You know what I'm talking about, that chickeny smell. So that's the reason why I'm gonna wash it, and I'm gonna wash it with vinegar. I think all the lemons that I had on this day I was preserving for cooking. So take out the giblets out of your chicken, wash it under running water. Another trick is when you're working with chicken, you want to sanitize your surfaces as you go because chicken is equals to salmonella and you don't want that. So some recipes will call for 1 tablespoon of salt per pound of bird that you have, but I think that's a bit much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that. So for a 6 pound bird, instead of 6 tablespoons of salt, I'm going to have 3 tablespoons of salt. And I'm not even going to use that whole entire amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 3 tablespoons of salt, and then I'm going to separate the skin from my bird. Okay. And the reason why we're doing that is because you're going to take this salt and you're going to rub it all over your chicken. You're going to rub inside in the cavity, and you're going to rub under the skin, on the skin, like make sure every surface of your bird is covered with salt because salt is equal to flavor. Then I'm going to let this sit for I'm going to let this sit overnight. I think mine actually sat for about 15 hours. And then the next day, it's going to be ready for the rest of the ingredients.
I got a lot of lessons left to learn, but I'm not even close. Through my inhibition, I've become quite sure that I love you the most. That this could be the easiest thing if I'd let it, but I'm too afraid of losing it all. 'Cause if I leave everything on the table, then you might break my heart. But I know a love like this doesn't come around every day, and I just can't bring myself to give up right now. Not this way, 'cause I love you and I wanna hold you when we're old and gray. Oh, a love like this don't come around, don't come around every day. Sure of myself or anyone else, but here I am with you. So I put my hesitation out, 'cause this is what I choose. This will be the easiest thing if I let it, and I can't be too afraid to fall. So I'm leaving everything on the table. You can have my heart. Oh, I know a love like this doesn't come around every day, and I just can't bring myself to give up right now. Not this way, 'cause I love you and I wanna hold you when we're old and gray. Oh, a love like this don't come around, don't come around every day.
So this is the next day after my chicken has been resting in the fridge for what I felt was a sufficient amount of time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gathering all my ingredients. I have a stick of butter. I have some cloves of garlic. I have garlic powder, and that is because I did not have enough garlic. And I have some lemon. Now, if you have enough garlic, you want to take one clove or one head of garlic and cut it in half, and that's what you're going to stuff your chicken with. However, if you do not, you can just do what I did, chit a little bit and use some garlic powder. You'll be perfectly fine. Another thing that's not on my screen right now is I'm also going to use rosemary. Use fresh rosemary. I have tons of dried rosemary, so that's what I'm going to use. So you want to make sure that your butter has come to room temperature, because that's what's going to make it easy to spread. I'm going to add a generous amount of garlic powder. That's probably half a tablespoon, but I'm going to add some more. Then to this mixture, I'm going to add my rosemary. So you don't want this to be melted, but you also don't want it to be too firm, because you want to be able to spread that over your chicken. I see I also decided to add some parsley flakes, but that's some dried parsley. So there you go. I did stick my butter in the microwave for about 10 seconds because I don't want it melted. I just want it to be easy to work with. So put about a tablespoon and a half of rosemary. If you have fresh rosemary, use 3 sprigs to stuff in the cavity, and then use about 2 sprigs mixed in with your butter. Again, this just depends on how much you love rosemary, or if you don't love rosemary, use as little as possible, but do not skip it. Rosemary is paramount to this recipe. So I'm gonna squeeze out the juice of my lemon, and I was gonna use half, then I'm like, you know what, go big or go home. So I'm gonna do the juice of 1 lemon. Don't throw away those lemon halves that you just squeezed, because you're gonna throw those into the cavity as well. With my little garlic here, I think this is about 4 cloves, and that's being generous. I'm gonna crush them again into this butter mixture. So your butter is what is going to be the vehicle for delivering the rest of the flavors into your chicken. So you want to mix this real good. It's going to be very difficult to get your lemon juice to mix with your butter, but try as hard as you can. Anytime you decide to do a voiceover, 50 million distractions come. It's called being a mom. I'm not complaining. So what was I saying? Crush your garlic cloves and mix into the butter as well. So I'm going to have a mix of garlic powder and the fresh garlic cloves. Ideally, I only use fresh garlic, but like I said, I did not have enough fresh garlic. So I'm going to work with my powder and the cloves. Throw in your parsley flakes in there as well. If you have fresh parsley, well and good. I just have the dried ingredients. I've been trying to go to the store as little as possible because I'm trying to use up everything that we have in the pantry. Put in a generous helping of black pepper. Remember, you're not going to salt this because your chicken already has enough salt. So resist any temptation at this point to add any salt. So once you get enough, I'm gonna add probably a tablespoon of black pepper in there. You can see me just going wild. I'm really crushing that pepper. So once you have enough of that, I'm going to take that and then I'm going to rub it all over the chicken. Again, do not miss a spot. From the cavity under the skin, on top of the skin, the back of the chicken, you want to make sure that your chicken is covered in butter. Like, you don't want to see chicken. You look at it, all you want to see is butter, because the butter is also going to help with crisping up the skin. And then once you've done that, you are going to put your chicken on a baking sheet that you've lined with foil, and then we'll put it in the oven.
Oh, I know a love like this doesn't come around every day, and I just can't bring myself to give up right now. Not this way, 'cause I love you and I wanna hold you when we're old and gray. Oh, a love like this don't come around, don't come around. No, a love like this don't come around, don't come around every day. Every day. Oh, every day.
Once you are done rubbing butter all over your chicken and your chicken is looking all buttered, it's shining, we're going to trust this chicken. Now, every time I make this recipe, I say the next time I'm going to bake it, I'm going to buy chicken twine. But I never remember. So I have come up with a way to make my own chicken twine, if you'd call it that. I take a piece of foil and I fold it down, you see, as thin as I can. And then I'm going to use that foil to truss my chicken. I don't think I mentioned this, but you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to bake this chicken for this one. I baked it for maybe an hour and 15 minutes. At the 1 hour mark, you want to check your chicken, temp it various points, especially various thick points. You want to check the breast, you want to check the drumsticks, you want to check the thighs. Check it and make sure that every point you check comes back 165 degrees Fahrenheit. 165 degrees Fahrenheit is how you know your chicken is done. Again, remember, chicken is equals to salmonella, and this is not our portion this year. So we are going to eat chicken that is well done. Now, once you truss the chicken, you're also going to try and put the wingtips underneath it because you don't want them to burn. And y'all, if I tell you that this is the comedy of errors, it took me close to 10 minutes just trying to put down this chicken wings. It's never happened before, but I thought I'd just show you a little bit of the struggle here, just so that you know it's not always easy in the kitchen, but we strive on and we always have success. So bake your chicken at 1 hour. Start checking it. If it's done, then you can take it out and rest it for 15 to 20 minutes, just so that it can reabsorb back those juices. If you don't have a kitchen thermometer, another way to be able to tell if your chicken is done is if you cut it at the thickest part, you want the juices to run clear. If they come out and they look a little bloody, then that means that your chicken is not done. You want to stick it back into the fridge, go in increments of 10 minutes until this baby is all baked. And finally, look at that bird. Doesn't it just look beautiful? This chicken is delicious. And if you have any leftovers, you can eat them as leftovers, or you can use whatever is left over as a rotisserie chicken. It is so good. With my leftovers, I made enchiladas the next day, and it was still so good because the chicken was just so well flavored. We on this day had it with mokimo, which is like a variation of mashed potatoes, only it's got peas and corn and potatoes and some cabbage. Oh, it was so delicious. Just looking at this chicken makes me want to make it again. It is that easy to roast a chicken. I hope you guys try out this recipe. Let me know in the comments if you like it. Thank you so much for always watching the videos that I post. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing with your friends and for subscribing. You always bless my heart, and I just hope good things for you and for everybody around you. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.